South Pole is over 2 miles thick. It is heavy enough to crush a submarine. So when Chinese radar picked up a massive open space beneath the station, they assumed it was a glitch. It wasn't that simple. There's been endless speculation about underground bases in Antarctica, and some satellite photos show mountain areas with unusual caverns, literal windows in the ice. The readings revealed a perfect geometric shape, a massive hangar hidden in the dark. They sent a camera down the borehole. The feed showed a metallic wall, frost-free, humming with energy. They found something never meant to be found. And then the screaming began. The Kunlun anomaly. In 2018, China decided guessing was over. They sent a team to Dome A, the most remote point on the continent, and built Kunlun Station atop the thickest ice sheet in the world. Officially, their mission was to study climate change, trapped ancient air bubbles in snow, but that wasn't the full story. They brought heavy-duty ground-penetrating radar, normally used for oil or bunkers. When they activated it, they found something defying geology. Natural rock scatters radar signals. This, however, was smooth. Radar waves bounced back in a perfect clean curve. Buried under 2.5 miles of ice, the sheer weight should have crushed anything flat. But this structure stood firm. Shaped like a massive dome, roughly the size of a football stadium, it defied explanation. Surface scientists checked their machines, fearing cold had broken the sensors. Recalibration confirmed the image, a perfect hollow dome hidden in darkness. As soon as the radar beam struck it, the station's power grid flickered. Magnetic sensors went haywire. It was as if the object knew it was being watched. The team leader, with 20 years on the ice, concluded, this was no rock formation. Nature doesn't make straight lines or perfect underground domes. They labeled it Anomaly G1. Beijing ordered silence. Americans and Russians could not know. Scanning switched to drilling, but the ice at depth behaves like concrete, and the object emitted interference that dulled drill bits faster than normal. The crew worked in shifts through brutal cold. Machinery groaned and sparked. At 2 miles down, temperature readings rose, a red flag in Antarctica. Something was generating heat. Not a volcano. Volcanoes don't create rhythmic magnetic pulses every 30 seconds. Boom, 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 like a clock in the deep. Isolation hit hard. Thousands of miles from help, standing atop something awakening, the lead engineer warned, vibrations might trigger collapse. Orders were clear. Do not stop until the target was reached. Antarctica has always been surrounded by rumors. Old maps from the 1500s show the coast ice-free. Pilots reported massive openings. This was the first hard government data. They were about to knock on the front door of history. The drill neared target depth. Tension in the command tent was palpable. The impossible layer loomed. Drill hitting rock is a low crunch. Hitting a void is a high-pitched scream. At 3 a.m., the rig lurched forward. Resistance vanished. They punched through not water or rock, but empty air. The dome had been breached. A blast of air surged up the borehole, smelling of ozone and old metal. Everyone obsessed with alien life forgets the consequences of actually finding it. They swapped the drill for a fiber optic camera. The deeper it went, the more interference grew. Video feed became snowy and distorted. Audio captured a low hum like a massive generator. When the camera cleared the bottom of the ice sheet, silence fell. Floodlights revealed a perfectly smooth surface, dark and reflective, like black glass or polished titanium. It curved endlessly into darkness, seamless, harder than diamond. Laser rangefinders failed. The dome wasn't a small room, it was a massive complex. Ice hadn't frozen against it. A gap formed, a cushion of air. Markings etched along the rim were geometric, sharp, precise. Pure, complex math, no human language. Temperature inside was 60 degrees warmer than surrounding ice, room temperature. The system was active, not a ruin, a base. The lead scientist sent screenshots to Beijing. Target acquired, structure artificial, Requesting instructions. Reply. Secure samples. Do not retreat. A remote-controlled cutting arm tried slicing the outer shell. The laser cutter barely scratched it. The material absorbed energy. Indestructible. Tactics changed. They sampled ice directly touching the dome. Thermal scoops retrieved core samples from the interface layer. The canister felt heavier than normal. Magnetic readings went off the charts. Electronics failed, laptops crashed, generators sputtered. Crew felt buzzing in their teeth, metallic taste. Some had nosebleeds. The canister broke surface containment. Inside, the ice was alive. Swirling gray fog and tiny black threads floated in meltwater. Under UV light, threads moved, swimming, coiling, forming complex shapes like snakes. Not geology, biology, but wrong. Impossible pressure, impossible depth, reacting to light. Electron microscopes revealed machines, tiny organic interlocking gears, dormant until light hit them. DNA sequencers showed unknown genetic codes, 4 strands, completely alien. A shadow biosphere, evolved separately or from elsewhere. The sample was a hive-mind trying to merge. The dome wasn't a building, it was a containment unit. Suddenly, the containment box cracked. Reinforced glass failed. Threads pulsated purple, shattering glass. Liquid nitrogen failed. Threads clumped, forming a black pulsating sphere. One researcher, Chen, got exposed. Veins blackened, eyes rolled, speaking in clicks and grinding sounds. The dome sensed it. Tremors shook the station. Energy spiked from the borehole. Protocol 0, self-destruction. Lab doors exploded. Chen emerged, transformed. Exoskeleton formed. Purple veins pulsed. Chaos. Scientists fled. Snowcats barely operable. Dome's energy melted ice foundation. Blue beams shot into space. A beacon calling home. Station. Infected crew. Drill swallowed. Shockwave flipped vehicles. Silence returned. Only 3 survivors remained, carrying a hard drive with radar scans and video. They walked 12 hours to a supply plane. Rescued, isolated in military hospital, told hallucinations from gas leak, told to forget. But data can't be erased. Copies reached the internet. Metallic dome and blue flash. Satellite images showed massive thermal scar at Dome A. A perfect circle melted and refrozen. Leaked files. It's waiting. Amateur radio operators report rhythmic pulses every 42 minutes. China sent military convoys to Dome A, building a perimeter, not drilling, a lid. The threat wasn't from the sky, it was underfoot, sleeping, now awake. Clan Station discovery wasn't triumph, it was warning. Dome remains buried, heat signature visible. Question: what happens if it reaches surface? We are tenants on a roof. The landlord just turned on the basement lights. Knowing the truth comes at risk. Next time the dome might open the doors. What do you think? Ancient civilization, military experiment, or living ice already in our oceans? Let us know in comments. For more secrets they don't want you to know, hit like and subscribe.